We can't remain the best military in the world unless we have the best technology. And the best technology is not all birthed in the Pentagon anymore. In order to have the best defense technology, we have to have the best connections to commercial technology. And that means people who are in tech need to know defense and feel that what we're doing is appropriate enough and important enough and right enough that they want to be associated with it. I'm asked quite a bit about this divide between tech and the Pentagon. A fairly recent example is Google's Project Maven. And there was a subset of their employees, but a vocal one, that objected to Google being involved in a Pentagon project involving artificial intelligence. And so what might you say to those young people? Actually, they weren't all young. Some were quite old too. The very first thing I'd say is I commend you, because you're asking a question and raising an issue about the ethics of what you're doing with technology. I believe that is a deeply good thing to be doing. And you should be asking that about everything Google does. Any of us who create things and ought to take responsibility for them. So I think that's great. And the first thing I'd say to you is, I agree with you. Your Department of Defense needs to do anything with AI in a responsible, humane, ethical way, just like we do everything else. Now, how are they supposed to get it right if the very best people who work on AI, who are you, won't get involved? You're just leaving the field to other people who are not as good as you. So get in the game. That's the first thing I'd say. The second thing I'd say is, Google does work in and for China. And in China, let's be clear, there's no distinction between what you do anywhere and what the People's Liberation Army gets. In our society, you know what you're doing, and we're honest about it. And you could opt out of it if Google will allow you as a personal matter, but and of course, China is a communist dictatorship, and that's not the kind of society we are or want to live in. And it's, by the way, not the kind of society that birthed all the freedom that Google and its history enjoys. And the last thing I'd say is you live here. Your company, its profits depend upon the laws of this country. Your employees drive on the roads. Where do you think the roads come from? Where do you think, if you have employees who work at Google who can read and write, how do they learn to read and write? There's a school system that teaches them to read and write. We're all embedded in the society in which we find ourselves. And you have a responsibility to that society and its values. So all that would lead me to say that I wouldn't object to my company working for the defense. I may say to the Defense Department, hey, you're doing that the wrong way. And I'll tell you, from the point of view of a leader in the Defense Department, we listen to that. We are the country's Defense Department, so we're not out doing stuff that you don't know about or you don't feel responsible to you about. People think that, but it's not really true. We do things that we keep secret for now, but we do things that are appropriate according to our law, international law, and we take that seriously. I always told people when I was Secretary of Defense, we take our values to the battlefield. No apologies.